Hey everybody, Steve Przebrowski here. Welcome to tip 84 in the series 101 Tips to Ace Your Promotional Exam. As a reminder, my website below has a lot of great free information on it. Check it out if you haven't done so already. And this series is based on my latest book from Fire and Training Books and Videos, available off their website as well as mine below. So, tip 84. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, before you think, what are you talking about, Steve? Good old boy network? No, I'm not talking about the good old boy network. Hopefully, we've gone way beyond that. I know that is still live in many places. Sad and good to say. Now, I say sad and good to say because it's not uncommon for people to get positions, whether it's getting hired, getting promoted, or whatever positions, because of who they are. Now, sometimes it can be for the right reasons. Sadly, sometimes it cannot be for the right reasons because it's maybe favoritism or someone repaying well, I guess favoritism if they're repaying a favor or throwing you a solid or whatever it is, or just whatever. But anyway, let me get a little bit more into what it's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, don't get me wrong. It definitely helps to know shit and be prepared and do your homework, do your research, know yourself, know the organization, know the position. I get all that stuff, but let's talk about that. Networking, I think, is critical. I mean, I'm assuming most of us realize the importance of networking by now and also building and maintaining relationships. And I say that because it segues into the next point of you never know who's going to be on your promotional process as raters. Not that you have to. I mean, to me, when I was going into my captain's test, my battalion chief's test, my deputy chief exams, there's going to be people maybe from within the department and then people from outside the department, some that might be local, some that may be regional, some may be out of the area. Now, to me personally, when I go into a stressful situation, and you may go, Steve, you get stressed over interviews. Yeah, I get stressed over promotional processes. I mean, it's a hell of a lot easier to be on the other side as a rater because there's no stress. I mean, well, there's stress because you want to have every candidate do well, and it sucks to have to fail people, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But to me, it's stressful when I know the people, even when they have a nice smile on their face and you're able to, hey, I know that person. That's awesome. Well, to me, I don't want to embarrass myself. And that's always, a fear that I think many people have is, oh my God, I know the people. Shit, I'm going to embarrass myself if I put my foot in my mouth. Now, most of the time we don't, but it happens. Versus the opposite end of not knowing anybody else. Sometimes that can go to your advantage. Sometimes it may not go to your advantage. But personally, I think, to me, a good candidate is going to take the time to network and build relationships because it may go to your advantage when you go into that promotional process, as stressful as it is, because you may know that person either really well or not so well. Now, if it's a family member or friend or relative, odds are that you're not going to be able to have them in the room, meaning it's not uncommon for most departments for the candidates when they walk in to be told, hey, maybe here's a list of the names of the people that are raters. And do you know any of them? Are you related to any of them? And, even if you're not related, do you know them? And do you feel that they may be negatively biased against you? So it's not uncommon for a department to ask a candidate to maybe see if someone on the panel that they know, it could be a friend or a foe. They may ask, hey, I know that person. It was my former boss. They didn't like me. We had a personality conflict. I think it'd be unfair, or they might be biased. And those things happen. I get that. And they may be asked to, step off the panel. Or on the opposite end, the raters are usually shown up front. Hey, here's the names of all the candidates. Is there anybody that you're related to or that you know, or that you feel that you cannot fairly evaluate? And just because you know people doesn't mean that you can't fairly evaluate them. And just because you know people doesn't mean that you can't be biased. If you're involved in the fire service, extremely involved in your department, the fire service, the area, the region, it's not uncommon to have people that you're going to know. Sometimes it's hard to find people that you don't know to be your raters. But the key is, can you be fair? Can you be honest as a rater? And on the flip side, as a candidate, are you comfortable with them rating you? Hey, but to me, it is nice when I have that smiling face on the other end that, reaches out, and I'm thinking pre-COVID, when they shake your hand, no mask on, and they're able to say, hey, Chief or Steve, good to see you again. To me, that's comforting on the other end, just like anything else, but I still got to perform as a candidate. Now, I think it's critical to find your mentors because, again, you never know how they can benefit you. And the best line I ever heard years ago when I was thinking, how could that person be a good mentor? They're a terrible role model. Well, somebody wise leader told me, hey, Steve, everybody can be a role model, good or bad. Everyone can be a mentor, good or bad. But the key is finding your mentors, because there's always something that they can pass along with you, not to mention advice they can share, suggestions, considerations, paths they can take you down. It's just, there's a lot of different values to having mentors. Just on the opposite end, there's such a value of mentoring others. Number one, something you can talk about in your interview, something that you can show that you're paying it forward, giving it back, but also it's the right thing to do, because all of us, I think, that have been successful in life, whatever that success is, whether it's promotion, getting hired, entrepreneurs, your professional life, your personal life, success usually is not by one person, meaning you. It's usually by a lot of things: timing, opportunity, but also a lot of times who you know and what you know too, but obviously who you know to get you in the door and maybe allow you to get that foot in the door. And I won't say edge up or leg up, but may help you be more successful. Because on the opposite end, when someone's getting hired or promoted, we don't want to promote or hire assholes or jerks. There's enough of those out there in any line of work, in any industry, any organization. So like I said, on the bottom, don't be an asshole, because that can go against you, and it should go against you. We all know those folks. And sometimes you wonder, how the hell did that person get promoted or hired? Because they're an asshole. Well, sometimes things happen. Sometimes it's the testing process that they couldn't reveal that. Sometimes the panel didn't know them. Maybe that went to their benefit. But, if you are a jerk, I would like to think karma's going to set in at some point, but I think it's critical, obviously, to network, maintain, build relationships, both on and off duty, within your department, with outside of your department, with other organizations, with non-fire organizations, just people from all walks of life, your neighbors, your friends, because again, you never know who you're going to meet that can offer you assistance. And on the opposite end, you can offer them assistance. So it's not about sucking up or kissing ass. It's about building and maintaining effective working relationships and networking with others that you can assist, but also who can assist you at some point. It's a give and take relationship. It's better to have people on your side than against you. I think it's a pretty simple rule there. So, excuse me. So as always here, thank you very much for the gift of your time. Feel free to connect with me on social media, reach out. My contact info is on my website there. Have a great day, everybody. Until the next one, be safe. Take care.